On this episode, I don't even have a cup of coffee. And my wife talks like this when she pretends to be me. This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions and I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show. Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey and this is episode 53 of the Ask Jason Show. Wait, hold on. Oh yes, nailed it. I didn't blow my nose with that. I promise, Joe. Joe's a germaphobe. Did you know that? He's... Today we're going to talk about how to determine what type of offer you should write, price-wise, dependent on what the asking price of a property is. Because people throw around terms like buyer's market, thinking that means that you get to beat the crap out of sellers when it comes to their purchase price and all of that stuff. Everybody wants this low ball offer. They want to negotiate. They want to steal stuff from people. Here is the reality of how that plays out. There's basically two schools of thought here. One of them is wrong and one of them is mine. Let's say I have a house for sale and I'm representing the seller and it's listed for $300,000 because the thing is worth $300,000. If you write me an offer for $275,000, all you're doing is not impacting what the house will eventually sell for. All you're doing is putting up the borders around our relationship between buyer and seller in a place that makes it more difficult for you to move forward. So essentially what you're doing is you are establishing from the start that you are disagreeable and unamiable. Unamiable? Is that how you say that? Unamiable. Unamiable? Amiable? You're a shithead. So what you should be doing is you should have your agent, whoever represents you as a buyer's agent, not be encouraging you to start relationships on a negative point. To start them off with insult. Because a real estate transaction is a dance, not a fight. Everybody needs to cooperate, you need to move, everything has to flow. People have to be agreeable. And those relationships are remarkably important. So if for the sake of making you feel better, your agent is putting on like a tough face and a big chest and they're puffing it out. I just did like that move. That's the only move I got. If somebody wants to fight me, I'm like, yeah, huh. And if that don't work, I'm toast. After that, that's it, I'm done. So anyway, because we're totally losing direction here. Sunny days. See the weather today? It's got what I need. Little sidebar. Joe and I were playing guitar a little while ago because he's a musician. And I was also playing because sometimes I'd like smack my fingers against the strings and made sounds that are, to the untrained ear, somewhat similar to the sounds that Joe makes with his guitar. And I sang a couple of notes and he went immediately to YouTube and pulled up a song from the mid-90s by Biz Markie called Just a Friend, is it called? You got what I need. Played it and it's terrible and it sounds just like me. It really does. So where am I with the actual important part of this video? So what you should have your agent do, instead of puffing up their chest and trying to look cool in front of you, they should be doing their own market analysis of what the property is actually worth. What's the real fair market value? And then based on that real fair market value, you develop a target price. And your target price is the price at which you will pay comfortably and be happy with your investment. And anything below that that you can get then is just gravy. It's gravy. Groovy. And everybody likes gravy on their Sunday dinner. Some people also with ketchup. I like ketchup mixed with my gravy, even if I have a poutine. Adam Blanchard, Five Brothers, the poutine pit. Oh my God, his cheese is delicious. He's got what I need. Say you're just a friend. So where was I? You have that target price. You make your offer hoping to get at or below that target price. And your strategy depends on who the listing agent and the seller are, who your buyer's agent is. But anywhere you arrive as a final purchase price at or below that target number is a W. That's a win. That goes in the W column. You don't have to start with 25 or 30 grand under your target price. What you offer initially has no bearing whatsoever on what that person is willing to accept as a sale price. So if I have a house up for sale for $500,000 and I own it and I'm selling it, do you think that what I'm willing to accept and the balance on my mortgage is at all affected by whether your first offer is $450,000 or $470,000? Do you think there's a difference there? Do you think magically my balance on my mortgage and what I have to pay off to move to Barbados is somehow magically less because you offered $450,000 instead of $470,000? Do your research. And here's something else you might not know. Do you know that what mortgages are registered to properties in what amounts at what dates is public access through the Registry of Deeds? And you can do it online. You can get a registration for Cato and you can go see the house that you want to buy, you can see that it was registered, a mortgage against it for $225,000 in 2013. And now you know they've been paying that off and it has not been refinanced because that would be registered to the deed as well. So you know exactly how much money they have left in their house. When you make your offer, they can't afford to sell it for that. They got to pay off the No, call you on your foolishness. I know exactly how much money they have. I don't think very many people knew. Did you know that? Yeah, of course you knew it. You're Director Joe. Of course he knew it. Whatever. I probably told him. I feel like I'm a little disjointed today. Like a little discontinuous. I can do this one. That actually does hurt now. So we talked about writing offers to buy things based on whether or not it was actually listed close to what its real value is. And the strategy there is to have your agent, your buyer's agent, determine what the real value is, if it's accurate, if it's not, and make your move according to that. If things are listed at decent price points to what they're actually worth, then the list to sale price ratio, so what percentage of asking price they get, will actually be higher. So you won't be getting $15,000 and $25,000 discounts on houses. You'll get like $2,500 and $7,500, a little closer to what asking prices are. But then you get some sellers and some agents who will, like an agent who will, what we refer to as buying the listing, which means you have 2 or 3 agents come into your house to tell you that they can sell it for $300. And then I come in to buy the listing and tell you I can get it for $330. And here's my evidence, and you should hire me because I'll get you another 30 grand. Well, that's my stupid tactic because I can't articulate my actual value. I'm just throwing more money at it. This is not the way to do it. I'm just throwing more money at it to tell you that you should hire me instead. So in the event that you do make that mistake and you hire, this is not going the way. In this example, it's a hypothetical me, not like really me, but like a hypothetical me. It's the stupid me. It's the me my wife knows. Yeah, and the one that Joe knows also. So say you did hire that guy, now you're overlisted by $30,000. Don't get offended when you have your low ball offer. What do you want? Everybody who comes to see your house is disappointed in it because it's less house than all of the other $330,000 houses that they're seeing. You are literally now the worst house that everybody sees. So everybody who comes to see you compares it to other houses that are better than yours because they're priced accurately. And now you get a low ball offer, but it's not actually a low ball offer. It's probably close to market value because you should have listened to somebody else instead of the stupid me, instead of my wife's me and Joe's me, and you should have had it listed at the right number. As discontinuous and disjointed in the giant circumlocution that this conversation is, here's the moral of the story. When you go to buy houses, there's no standard dollar amount discount that you get off of asking prices. That's not a thing. Don't assume because it's a buyer's market that you're going to get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $5,000 off of asking. That's not how it works. Have a good realtor represent you in your purchase, have them determine what fair market value for the property is, and then devise a target number in proportion to fair market value. If you think that fair market value on that $300,000 house is $295, then be prepared to pay $295. And if you're still only prepared to pay $275, then if you're working with me and I'm your buyer's agent, I'm going to tell you we need to start looking at $275,000 houses because I'll fire you. I'll fire you. I'll fire you. I have fired. Have you ever fired a buyer? I did too. Only once. I fired a buyer because they wanted to waste sellers' times and steal properties away at a ridiculous scale. And if you're that guy or girl or company, whatever it is, I'm not the guy for you. Anyway, that is it for today. Write sensible offers if the property is priced accurately. It's not a lowball offer if the property is overpriced. You're determining your target price based on market value, and that's how you decide what to offer. End of story. And to reiterate, your opening offer does not determine how much you're gonna pay for a property. It only determines how much the sellers will dislike you in the start of what could be a long conversation. And here's something that I guarantee you they're saying to each other over their dinner table after reading your crappy lowball offer. Well, if they're like this now, what are they gonna like with the home inspection? Promise you, they're saying almost exactly that. Probably in that voice, because as you know, everybody who sells a house immediately gets this voice. And by the way, that is the stupid Jason voice. That's the one my wife uses when she mimics me. Oh yeah, I can't do dishes, man. That's exactly what she would say. Love you, baby. Mwah. That is it for today. We will see you guys next. I just realized I didn't even have a coffee this episode. First one ever. See you next week. The Ask Jason Show exists so that you can get good real estate related information from a resource that you can trust. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple I would trust to work with my mom. Because good enough for mom, I mean, good enough for you. Yeah, you got what I need. You say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Yeah, you got what I need. Bleh.